What's up, everyone? We're going to have fun today. There's no football going on, so we're going to have a nice, relaxing day hanging out, learning about music. Talk about some Stevie Wonder today. Stevie Wonder Sound Explained. I'm going to kind of compare it to a modern song that's a current hit, and what makes his sound, his chords, grooves, and really gives it that Stevie Wonder sound. It's a very unique thing and beautiful. Stevie Wonder is one of the greatest composers, singers, songwriters of the of the last 20th and 21st centuries. Just an absolute genius. I've only made, I want to say, 2 videos on him. I did a video on Superstition, a song breakdown. And I did a video on Sir Duke. And I'm going to talk about a couple of songs here to kind of demonstrate his sound. And this is part of my songwriter series, kind of directly related to my Music Theory for Songwriters course. And I've been thinking about this, how I can actually put these in kind of an ultimate bundle to help you guys understand this stuff. The songs I'm going to talk about are have a couple interesting, sophisticated things that are really unique to Stevie, and you're going to need a little bit of extra theory and ear training for him. Not too difficult. I'll explain this stuff, but my Music Theory Complete bundle I'm offering this week for $109. What's included in this bundle? My Music Theory for Songwriters course. I've never been able to offer this in a bundle because we had to code it separately to do these bundles like this. So there's 3 things in this bundle. The Music Theory for some Songwriters is has 19 lessons, 3+ hours of video content, and it focuses on crafting melodies, mastering chord progressions, creating hooks, and understanding song structures and having impactful melodies, things like that. And then related to that is the Beato Book Interactive. Now, the reason these 2 things, the Beato Book Interactive is more in-depth, and some of these things in Stevie Wonder songs are more in-depth. For example, the first I'm going to talk about uses a chord that's not in any other pop song that I can think of. It's very unique to this song that we're going to talk about. It's one of Stevie's biggest songs. And then the ear training program, because is included in this bundle. So these 3 courses, and I've wanted to put them together because I think that it's important for you to master these things. Like, how do you actually figure out these things? Because it's one thing to hear the stuff. It's another thing to be able to figure it out by ear. And I think that this stuff actually trips people up. Because some of these chords, well, let me just get to it here and talk about it. Some of the things, the reason I started thinking about this Stevie Wonder is that Bruno Mars song, Die With A Smile, with a song with Lady Gaga, which is a great song. And it starts out, those are the first 2 chords. In case you guys don't know that, it's this one, right?
I just woke up from a dream.
It's a beautiful song.
But you and I had to say goodbye.
It's the 1 chord of the 4 chord that give A major. They're both major 7th chords, right? This is something out of the 70s.
Since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow.
Those are 3 minor chords, and then right here. Does this G flat sus to G flat major. Now, these particular chords are in a Stevie Wonder song that I'm going to talk about right now, which starts on a major 7th chord. So the major 7th chords are chords that are really something that were very commonly used in the 70s and were kind of abandoned in the 80s when we went to this kind of, A lot of power chords, muted things like that, or the synth pop songs that were, on DX7s and things like that, and they didn't use these things, these major seventh sounds of the 70s. It was kind of abandoned. Okay, so this is a song I want to start out with here is My Cherie Amour. Screenshot it. Flat major 7, C flat major 7, D major 7. Okay.
Lovely as a summer day.
You hear that? Nah. That's just what we heard in the Bruno Mars. Let me play along with that. So it starts on. I'm sorry that it has these flats, right? It starts out with this G flat major 7th sound. You got that's the intro theme on the flutes, right? And it's over a G flat major 7 chord. Listen. Then up to key change. Then okay. This is kind of a weird thing about this. One of the unique things in the intro of this. So it starts on the 4 chord. We're really in D flat major here, okay? And this is the 4 chord. And then it goes to the flat 7 major 7. Honestly, I can't think of another pop song that does that. This is off Stevie Wonder's record that came out in 1969, My Cherie Amour. I think it was his 11th record at the time or something. It's insane how many records he did. So, or was his 8th record? Somebody will know in the chat. Actually, I looked it up because it's an insane. He had done a lot of records by 1969. So it starts on the 4 chord. Da, 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 flat 7 major. Da, 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 da. So the 1 chord repeats. Da, 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 da. Then My Cherie Amour. Okay, what is this chord? This chord is A flat 7 sharp 5. This is a jazz chord. It's just a dominant augmented chord, but it's a chord that they use for voice leading that really works well on the piano, works well on the guitar. It's a very common chord on guitar. My Cherie Amour. And then let me play along with it. You don't want to hear it. I like, my singing is so bad, I apologize. Then it goes to
Lovely as a summer day.
Okay, so this is a key change right off the bat. So it starts on the 1 chord, My Cherie Amour. And it loses that note. The major 7th, the note C, resolves down to it's really a 5 of the flat 7. Da, da, na, 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 na. And then, so this is your modulation here. We're modulating to the key of C flat or B. If you want to say F sharp, sus4, that's the 5 chord of the flat 7. And then it goes to A flat 7, sus4, A flat 7, back to D flat major 7. So that's your modulation back to the key of D flat. Once again, I don't know of this in any other song, a song that does this is really a secondary dominant chord to the flat 7. It's just beautiful, and it's great voice leading.
My My Cherie, Amour, distant as the Milky Way.
It sounds so natural, right?
My Cherie, Amour, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only girl my heart beats for. How I wish that you were mine.
Check it out.
In a cafe.
And then he uses this A flat 13 flat 9 chord, which I don't know of in any other pop song. Once again, these are really jazz chords, okay? And they use that. What does he do? That like flute violin thing that kind of sounds like Michael Jackson. Like what's the tune that they have that little arpeggiated figure in the intro? Okay, so the chorus. So it's really a pretty simple song. It's like an AABA song. So da 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 do. Then it goes back to the do 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 do. Na 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 na. Do my Cherie, Amour. 4 chord. Do 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 do. Okay, what is that chord there? Re, Amour. That's a beautiful chord. That's a B. I call it a C flat just because I'm using all flats. I don't like to mix sharps and flats. That's a B. That's a C flat, dominant 7, flat 5 that resolves down. That's called a tritone substitute. Now, if you purchase my bundle, you will, I briefly touch upon this on my music theory for songwriters using this tritone substitute. But to really get in that, you'd have to go to my Beato Book Interactive because these chords are a little bit more sophisticated. This chord is a substitute for an F7 chord. That's what we call it, a cycle. But he's just using this as a... You hear that? Do, 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 right? Do, 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 do. Stevie Wonder uses these cycle dominant chords, right? He does it in Sir Duke, these kind of cycling half-step dominant chord things. This is really part of his style, and to me, it just makes it so interesting. It's like if you think of the melody floating on this beautiful bed of sound, right? So this chord here. By the way, hit the like button here. I always forget to tell people that. If you hit the like button, it brings more people in. We can talk more about. Okay, what is this chord to? This is A flat 13. Okay, right there. So you have these kind of like what I call dominant chords with colorations. I call it B7 flat 5. It's really in theory it's C flat 7, but it's just B7 flat 5. B flat 7, E flat 9, A flat 13. What is A flat 13? It's this chord. It's A flat 7, but I love that sound, that A flat 13 sound. Do, do. 13 is just a beautiful thing. You hear it in Zeppelin. You hear it in, Jimmy Page used it in What Is and What Shall Never Be. Very common chord of the 70s again, these things, these major 7th chords. dominant chords. You don't hear dominant chords after that. But where do you hear it? You hear it in Bruno Mars. And as soon as you hear it, you say retro. When you think of Stevie Wonder, you think that you're like, oh, that sounds like the 70s. When somebody says it sounds like the 70s, they're saying it has major seventh chords in it. That's it. That's like the sound. It has major seventh chords and it has these kind of chords, these dominant sus. I could have played it like that. Do, 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 do. This chord here, dominant 11, once again, pretty much used in the 70s. These chord types, major sevens, straight dominants, dominants 11 chords, and then these more odd chords, this dominant 7 flat 5. This chord is also in the song Layla. They use this dominant 7 flat 5 in the outro, the coda of Layla. So it's not just in soul songs or pop, R&B, whatever you would call Stevie Wonder. It's in funk music. It's in rock music. It is all over the place, and it just has that retro sound. So when we're talking about these things, and somebody put in here, then Stone Temple Pilots took it into the 90s. That's true. Stone Temple Pilots is one of the few groups that was able to take these chords and use them. If you think of like a... chords like that, minor 7, flat 5 chords, these are chords of the 70s. They did it with distortion. Robert DeLeo, a genius with this stuff, right? He's taken those things. He said that was from Jobim. And somebody said Jobim, Antonio Carlos Jobim. I see somebody in there, I'm hearing the girl from Ipanema. Why? Because there's the chord, dominant 7, flat 5. Right there, Girl from Ipanema uses those exact chords. Now, Girl from Ipanema came out in 1964. Did it influence Stevie Wonder in 1969? Probably. It probably did. I guarantee you that he was a massive fan of Jobim. Everyone was influenced by Jobim in the 60s. Frank Sinatra had those 2 records, A Certain Mr. Jobim, and what's the other one where he's smoking on the cover? Oh man, I mean, there's a couple of Jobim records that Sinatra did that are just amazing. And that was a very influential sound of the things that were utilized in that. And these are the things that I wanted to get at in my Music Theory for Songwriters course, which once again, you can get 3 courses for $109. The sale ends next Friday, so it just goes through the week. It goes from today, Sunday, through Friday night at midnight Eastern time. I see Sergio Mendes and Jobim. That is really João Gilberto. These are the people that popularized these things. And a lot of the 70s artists would borrow the harmony from these Brazilian chords. And it's also in jazz. Which brings me to that one chord at the end of the verse of this, or at the end of the chorus.
Heart beats for how I wish that you were mine. In a cafe.
Okay, what is that chord? Now, if you're trying to figure this out by ear, that's a chord that you really need to have in your vocabulary. That's an A flat 13 flat 9 chord. Now, that is only really found in jazz. that chord there, you use it on a 5 chord. And I love that sound there. It works great on dominant chords. As a 5-1. That flat 9, the 13, it's a 13 just with an extra little spice on it. It's beautiful, right? That's pretty much the whole song right there. I'm going to put it up again. It's like rest, boom. So it comes in on 2 there. That's why I have this thing, this virgule here. It's like first beat comes in on the second beat, holds for 3, it's dotted. A flat 13, flat 9. You can screenshot this so you have the chart and you can use this. It's a very basic chart. It's not that complex. But those particular sounds are sounds that you need to be able to figure out by ear. Like I said, when in Layla, on the outro, Clapton, or whoever co-wrote the song with them, I forget who's the co-writer on that. Is it Jim Gordon? No. I forget who the co-writer is. But it is right in there in that song. It's right in the code of Layla, this particular chord here. So it was not just, was it Jim Gordon? It's not just part of soul music and funk music. It's part of rock songs of the 70s as well. Another song I want to talk about that is a great Stevie Wonder song, and it's off the Songs in the Key of Life record. Now, I just did a thing. I had an interview with Greg Fillinganes, and Greg played on the Songs in the Key of Life record. I think he only played on one song, maybe, or no, three songs. And he talks about that he was a massive Stevie fan. I've not put out the interview yet with him, but he was a huge Stevie fan. But I want to talk about this song, and this is a song that uses a lot of. Okay. Okay, this is a song I Wish off Songs in the Key of Life. Okay, so the vamp, and a vamp is just basically just a repeated chord figure. And the vamp that they have in I Wish is a 2/5 vamp. Once again, in the key of D flat major. Okay, pretty weird. Stevie liked D flat major. I Wish. Honestly, he probably liked it because it was a good vocal key for him. E flat minor 7 to A flat 7, and that's really that's this vamp here. Okay, that the chords are over. So it's I Wish here. E flat minor 7 to A flat 7, right? And these are just repeats here. These things are repeated measures, okay? So that's the verse. It's like so that's just the 2 chord to the 5 chord in the key of D flat, okay? Well, if you're like, well, what's the intro then? I'll tell you what the intro is. The intro is basically a bass line that flows over those 2 chords. Listen. Okay, so it's like a so it starts in E flat. Think about it like da 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 da, and it walks right back up on the A flat 7 to the 3rd, then the chromatic line back up to the up to the E flat minor 7. That's the same. Same thing up the octave. So that is the bass lick for that, and it works perfectly over that. So you think of it: E flat, A flat, E flat, A flat. That's it. 2-5. Okay. So let me play along. Then,
Even though we sometimes would not get a thing, we were happy with the joy the day would bring.
okay, so this part, I would call this the pre-chorus, so the pre-chorus section goes to these dominant chords. So it's B flat 7 to C7 to F minor 7 to A flat minor 6. Then B flat 7, C7, F minor 7 to B flat 7 sharp 5. This is the pre-chorus. So I'm going to write it down for you. 2 beats a piece, okay? So it's like this. I'll play it along with it, and I'll point it out. Once again, you can screenshot this, okay? So here we go. Now here we go.
Even though we sometimes would not get a thing, we were happy with the joy the day would bring. Sneaking out the back door, hang
Okay.
out with those cool.
So that pre-chorus there, or is that the chorus? Maybe that's the chorus. Okay, so once again, it goes to these dominant chords, dominant 7th chords. I love this A flat minor 6. Once again, this is the same kind of chords that you hear in Jobim. If you guys know, like, Corcovado. It starts on a minor 6 chord. Well, this is same chord, just down a half step. Okay, so minor 6 chords were common, but they were common in swing music. This was in jazz. But the chord that's not common in jazz, so this is, that's beautiful. That B flat 7 sharp 5 chord there. That is that's a perfect to me, that's like a beautiful turnaround chord there, that B flat 7 sharp 5. Okay, so why are these things important? They add color to your music. You should also be able to figure this stuff out by ear, okay? One of the things about learning about songwriting, you need to know about harmony, melody, form, but in order to know to understand these things, you have to train your ear. This is why I put these things together in my bundle this week, where I bundled the Music Theory for Songwriters along with my Beato Book Interactive, because this stuff goes beyond the Music Theory for Songwriters stuff. Stevie Wonder is kind of one level above that. It's a level of sophistication that I didn't that I didn't include in the music theory for songwriters, these more sophisticated jazz chords. I have some of them in there, not that dominant 13 flat 9, because it just doesn't happen very often in pop music. $109 for it, only until next Friday at midnight. So this is one of the best bundles that I've done. Aaron put it in the chat there. It's 70% off, $109. I've been wanting to offer it like this. It's taken a while to figure out how to code this. Jack asked me if I'm playing 9s. I'm playing 8s, Jack, actually. You keep hearing bits of Mood for a Day. No, nah, it's not really Mood for a Day. Well, you hear those half-step chord things here, but and let's listen on here. It's just a 2/5. Once again, these 2/5 vamps is really an element of funk music that is probably the most when people want to groove on stuff, this is really the ultimate kind of groove music is a 2/5. And what do I mean by 2/5? I keep saying that term. What is a 2/5? Okay, so let's say we're in the key of C. All this stuff are in my courses, but I'm just gonna let me just write this down just so you can understand what I'm talking about here. Okay, so give me 1 second. E minor 7, F major 7, G7, A minor 7, B minor 7, flat 5. Okay. So if you're in the key of C, this is the 1 chord, the 2, 3. These are the 7th chord to the key, the 4 chord, the 5, the 6, and the 7. When I say 2/5, I mean the 2 chord to the 5 chord. In this case, if you're in the key of D flat, the 2 chord is E flat 7, and the 5 chord is A flat 7. Okay? So it's just going 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. But if we're in the key of D flat major 7, E flat minor 7, then you go through the F minor 7. I use a slash for minor too as a substitute. G flat major 7, A flat 7. Okay, B flat minor 7. I'm mixing these all up here, majors and minors, and C minor 7 flat 5. I use the minus on some of these. I use the minus for minor, right? And I use the small M also. I mixed them up in there, doesn't matter. This is the 2 chord in the key of D flat, the 2 minor 7, and the 5/7 chord. That's the vamp of this song, right? I'll play it again. Listen. 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. That's it.
Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy, then my only worry was for Christmas what would be my
Great
day.
about it is that it actually lays well on the keyboard.
Even though we sometimes would not get a thing, we were happy with the joy the day would bring. Sneaking out the back door,
2.5 vamps are amazing to write melodies over and to groove and to solo over. Beautiful. If you ever want to do that, ever want to have something that's a good vamp to just repeat over and over to jam on, amazing. There's a lot of songs that use 2.5 vamps. A lot of songs. And it's once again, this is a sound of the 70s, this stuff. This is the sound of funk, is the 2.5 vamp. Okay. So that's it. I just want to talk about this. Talk a little music theory, talk about Stevie Wonder. If you get into songs like, he has some other harmonic things he does, like in, what's he start with the whole tone scale? There's so many Stevie Wonder hits, but he uses really a lot of harmony from jazz. And I just love that. I just love that sound. To me, it's so interesting to hear. And the Bruno Mars does a great job of mimicking that sound of that era. And he does it by using these chord sequences that are right out of Stevie Wonder. That's it. Hope you guys have a great, great weekend. Don't forget, my Beato bundle is on sale until next Friday. It's $109. Open up another tab right now. Go to the store. Help yourself become a better musician. Train your ear, train your fingers. Train your brain to recognize this stuff and to up your game in your songwriting. You guys are amazing. We'll talk to you later. See ya.